Good morning, Long Beach.
I'm bent over.
And I'm Healthy Berry. Happy Tuesday, everyone.
Hey, happy Tuesday. Woo-hoo.
What's today's public health message, Ben?
Today's public health message is to get plenty of physical activity every 30 minutes.
Every 30 minutes? Or do you mean 30 minutes a day?
I guess this isn't doing its job yet. I mean, yeah, 30 minutes a day.
Ben.
Yeah.
That's right. 30 minutes
30 minutes a day of physical activity. Like running, jumping, anything. You know, as long as it gets that heart going. Or almost anything.
All right, Ben. It seems you don't know quite what you're talking about. So let's take this outside to our very own Ivanna Askalot.
Yes.
Ivanna?
When you wanna know who's the star of the show, Ivanna Askalot.
I am Ivanna Askalot, and I'm here today with
Elsa Ramos, Multi-Service Center Coordinator.
Elsa. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do here at the Multi-Service Center?
Well, I am the point person here for the health department. The Multi-Service Center is essentially a collaborative of 13 nonprofit agencies along with the health department that work together to provide homeless services to our community.
And how long have you been with the Multi-Service Center?
I will be with the Multi-Service Center almost 3 years now.
Okay. What are some of the challenges, ongoing challenges faced by the Multi-Service Center?
Ongoing challenges, I would have to say that some of the limited resources when it comes to shelter. The city has primarily within our continuum of care, we have one emergency shelter for families. And that emergency shelter is anywhere between 30 to 45 days. And I think they take only about 12 families at a time. So at the center, in the last few months, we've been seeing an average of 60 to 70 families, new families, in addition to returning families that we're serving. So definitely a limitation in shelter is obviously very challenging. And then the other challenging component is when we come across individuals or families that are just not making enough income to make ends meet. We live in an area of the country where the fair market rent is very high compared to other regions, and so when people are below the poverty level and trying to make ends meet, often by having to double up with other families or taking on 2 or 3 jobs, it can be very challenging. And obviously hearing these types of scenarios, we definitely always have to work outside, think outside the box to come up with solutions to assist these families and individuals.
Now, do you and your staff ever go out and actually build homes?
No. The city staff is primarily the intake staff for the center, and will actually do referrals to the other agencies that provide some of the more comprehensive case management services and some of the financial assistance programs. We do occasionally participate in outside events. We have had one of the agencies here does like a yearly toy store, and so some of the staff get to go out, and the toy store is primarily for the clients who come through the center, and so they get to interact. But as far as building things, we don't have that trait here.
And what would you say is the best part of your job?
I would have to say that definitely being able to collaborate with so many different agencies and working with the community abroad. We have different projects that are taking place in the community right now. One is the Homeless Connections Initiative, which is comprised of various stakeholders in the community, and being able to meet and work with people who, private citizens, faith-based communities, and just businesses in the area that are really looking to really make an impact on the street homeless population in the downtown area. And I think that has been a very inspiring process because a lot of people who genuinely really do want to assist the homeless, and that's, I would say that's one of the highlights. And additionally, my staff I have a very great team of staff, and obviously all the agencies located on site really keep me going when we're having rough days around here.
Now, it sounds like working here in this kind of environment with so many people in crisis can be very stressful on the staff. What do you personally do to de-stress?
Well, I have joined a kickball league, and unfortunately I can't play right now because at a previous game I had a really bad collision and fractured a rib. So I can't do that anymore. I thought it was football, I guess. I don't know. But I have a book club, and I'll ride my bike around town. Like to participate. I think Diane and I did the Long Beach Marathon last year. So things like that get me out and about and just away from stressful situations is how I make it through.
Oh, wonderful. I know in recent years your staff have been participating in the annual Halloween contest, and you've been doing very well.
Yes.
Are you planning on participating again this year?
Yes, we are participating again this year, and we are currently working on potentially what our theme will be. October is just around the corner, and so I know that some of the staff have some ideas for that, so stay tuned.
Great, can't wait. Some competition, since Lab just disappeared on us. Well, Elsa, thank you very much for taking time to talk to us. I feel like we've really learned a lot about the Multi-Service Center. Is there any final thing you'd like to tell Long Beach about the Multi-Service Center, something we don't already know?
Sure. If anybody ever wants to come down for an interview, or an intake, but a tour just to become familiar with our site, and obviously if they ever come across anybody in need, to definitely refer them to us before they wait until it's hopefully not too late, to be able to keep them in their housing rather than having to deal with the homeless situation. So,
Great. Thank you very much.
All right.